Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over part 3 of my must-have makeup brush little series that I've been doing. In part 3, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some extra brushes, some tools, some sponges, a lot of different things that I use to create my makeup looks and to make my life a little bit easier. Now, if you're new here or you enjoy my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you know when I post my videos, and my disclaimer, if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. I'm a no filter bitch and I have no idea what's gonna come out of this mouth, so keep that in mind while you're watching. So if you guys are interested in some extra tools and tips and tricks that I have up my sleeve, then just stay tuned. It is so late. It is 7:30 and we are still going strong. I was able to film some Instagram videos today, so I feel quite productive. The sun is out and shining and we are going to just get on our way with this video. Like I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to be sharing with you guys not necessarily eye brushes, but just different tools and sponges that I use for my face. First brush I'm going to talk about is my cut crease brush. This is the P. Louise Acid Rain flat concealer brush. Now this brush actually comes in a set of 3 brushes, and I'm so excited that I found this brush because this is the best cut crease slash concealer brush ever. It has the perfect shape and cut of the bristles, so the bristles are perfectly rounded and you don't have any type of stragglers, so when you're doing a cut crease you get a really nice fine line. It's crisp, it's straight, there's no stragglers of bristles, so you're not getting like, you know, concealer going all over the place, and I just really love this brush. I actually discovered this brush from a girl that I'm following on Instagram. Her name is BlendBunny and she does these amazing eye looks on Instagram, and I am just, oh my god, I love her looks so much. I wish I had that kind of eyeshadow blending skill. I'll leave her handle up here on the screen as well as in the description box if you guys want to check her out. But I am so thankful to BlendBunny for just letting me discover this brush because it is literally the best cut crease brush I have ever used in my life, and I just can't get enough of this. Like I said, this does come in a set with 3 brushes. So you have the flat concealer brush, you have an angled brush, and then you have a liner brush. Now these two I have not yet used because I just really don't have any use for them. Whenever I do eyeliner, I have a different brush that I use that I will be talking about later on in the video. But in this brush trio, it also comes with a P. Louise base. I absolutely love this base so much. For all 3 brushes and the P. Louise base, I was able to get it for 18 pounds. I'm not really sure how much that is in dollars because the exchange rate is constantly changing. For retail price, it costs $38.50. Again, I'm not really sure how much that is in dollars, but you may want to get on this sale because it's been going on for a while and I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I actually checked online earlier today and the set is currently sold out, but you can always do like the email notifications to know when it comes back in stock. But I totally recommend this brush trio right here. It is seriously the best cut crease brush you will ever use. I actually used it today for this cut crease that I'm wearing, and I am just so obsessed with the concealer brush. Now I'm going to show you guys another concealer brush slash cut crease brush that I used before I found the P. Louise one, and that is the Sigma cut crease brush. This is the E62. Now I used to use this for a cut crease, but this brush is, as you can see, way too big for my eye space, but this was the only brush that I could find that actually had the hairs that were evenly cut. There were no straggling bristles, and it gave me a nice cut crease. So if you're someone who has a lot more lid space than me, you're definitely going to love this for a cut crease brush. Even if you do have hooded eyes, this cut crease brush will work. I love the shape of this brush because if you see in the front here, we have longer bristles, and then over here it gets shorter. So this actually fits really nicely into where I want to start my cut crease, which is usually from the inner corner of the eye. And all I do is just kind of follow the shape of the brush, and it just makes such a nice clean line. Now this brush is a little bit more expensive. It costs $17 just for one brush when you can go and get the, you know, P. Louise base for 18 pounds, which is about the same price, I want to say. So you can either get one of these brushes, or you can get the Acid Rain trio from P. Louise. But I definitely recommend this if you can't find a cut crease brush or a nice concealer brush. Now, I don't only use this for my cut creases, but I actually use this for my face as well. I like to use this brush with foundation to just really clean up like my eyebrow area. It fits so nicely in the curvature of my brows, also up here above the brow. And I really like this to clean up my brows here, like by my forehead area, because I always, like, my brows are so uneven right now. I'm actually waiting for this brow to kind of grow in here so it comes down lower like this brow, but I always fuck up my brows. Like, there's never a day where I don't fuck them up, and that's when this brush comes in. I put a little bit of concealer on the tip here, and all I do is I like to clean up like the edges underneath my brow, again on the brow curvature. I also use this for my lipstick. There are days where I just am a complete fucking mess, and for some reason I cannot apply lipstick straight or like on the lines of my lips, and that's where this guy comes in. A lot of the time I like to use this with my stick foundation from Makeup Revolution. This foundation right here is like the exact shade match for my skin. I like to dip the brush into the stick foundation, and that's where I'll clean up my lips on the edges. If I have any kind of bleeding or feathering on the lips, that's where I'll take this brush and just curve out like the bottom of my lips. If I have any kind of mess up on the eyes here, I will use this brush as well. The last thing I like to use this for is whenever I'm doing one of those really nice crisp lines for the eyeliner, and whenever you have the eyeshadow like kind of like this and it blends out, I'll go in with this again with the foundation, and I'll just make a nice crisp clean line with this brush using the longer ended part of the bristles. I'll just rest it here up against the corner of my eye and just make that really nice cut with the foundation. I just absolutely love this brush. It's been with me for years and I use it for so many different things. I don't think I'll ever stop using this brush. The next brush I'm going to be talking about is a eyebrow brush. Now, I am not someone who really uses brow pomades that often, but when I do, this is the brush that I reach for. This is the ColourPop E6 brush. What I like about this brush is that it is so freaking thin in width, and when I say width, I mean like the fatness of the brush. This brush will actually give you those hair strokes that people are always talking about in their Instagram videos or their YouTube videos. And all this time, I have not been able to find a good angled brush because a lot of them are super fat. There's so many fibers. They don't really do like the brush stroke. If anything, they give you like a really thick, nubby and stubby stroke. And I really don't like that because the whole point of getting a hair stroke is for it to be really thin and precise. Now with this brush, you do have to work it a little bit in order to get that flat line that you want to get those hair strokes. When I first got this brush, I coated it in pomade, and all I did was take my 2 fingers and put a lot of pressure on the brush tip, and all I did was do this method. So basically I'm squeezing the bristles as hard as I can and flattening the brush. And then after I was done with that, I would take a paper towel and clean off all the residue, and now I have a nice flat brush. So this brush is pretty good to last for about a week or 2, and then you should wash your brushes. But I just love this because this is the first angled liner brush that I have found that actually is thin enough to make hair strokes. This brush retails for $6, which I think is a little pricey for an angled brush because angled brushes usually come in almost any brush set that I've seen. I don't know what it is with brands or makeup brush brands, but they always include an angled liner brush like this, and I'm just like, I have so many of them. Like, I literally have like 10 of these, no kidding, and they're all way too wide to do any kind of hair strokes. And so this is my favorite eyebrow brush, especially to use for pomade. You can also use this for powder and it'll definitely make those hair strokes, but with powder you want to be a little bit more careful because those hair strokes are more prone to fade. So I would advise using a pomade with this to make the hair strokes in the front and then going in with a powder. So the next brush I have is from Suva Beauty. I absolutely love their Hydra Liners. If you've never seen them, they are liners in a little pot that activate with water, and they are just so amazing. They're pigmented and they're easy to work with. I have a brush from them, and this is the 610 brush. Now this is a very, very thin eyeliner brush. I don't know if you guys can see just how tiny it is, but this brush is so freaking precise. It's so thin. It works so nicely. Now, the one thing I love about this brush is that it may be thin, but it's also dense. I know that sounds really strange and really confusing, but the fact that this brush is thin but has enough fibers to where it's easy to control. So when you're putting eyeliner on it, it doesn't bend like a lot of really, really thin eyeliner brushes. Now, when an eyeliner brush bends too easily, you're gonna get a lot of issues when you're doing eyeliner. You want some kind of stiffness to the brush so you can control it a lot easier, especially when you're doing that outer wing. You want something that has a little bit more support to the brush, and this is the perfect brush for that. These bristles actually kind of go in a triangular type of shape like this, and so it's tapered at the ends, but again, on the bottom of the bristles, it is sturdy enough to have some support. So whenever you're doing a winged out liner, you're not getting too much flimsiness to where you might mess up the eyeliner or it might splurge all over the place. You're getting a nice, crisp, clean line with this, and you're getting so much control. Now, this brush retails for $12, which to me isn't really too bad, especially because Suva Beauty is more of an indie brand. So this brush is perfect for any kind of eyeliner or any kind of detail things that you want to do with your eyes. If you want to add like little polka dots, you can do it with this brush. If you want to do a more graphic liner design on your eyes, this brush will give you a nice, clean, supported line. Now I'm going to share with you guys my complexion tools. When I say complexion tools, basically anything that I use on my face to get foundation or powder or concealer or whatever on, and I have a few tools here ranging from more pricey to more affordable. The first guy I'm going to mention is this guy. This is the Tati Beauty Blendiful. I have used this over and over. Basically, anytime I do my makeup, I use this guy. Now, this is great for not only applying your foundation and getting a very seamless, flawless blend, but this gives you the maximum coverage that that foundation is listed or advertised. So if a foundation says it's medium coverage, this Blendiful is going to give you medium coverage. Not only does this give you a flawless finish, but it evens out everything. And when I say everything, I mean the foundation, the concealer, everything is just nicely blended. It doesn't leave any weird fibers on your face. This also comes with a little mini heart-shaped Blendiful, which I will post right here because I don't have it. It's actually in my purse. That is my go-to for when I'm out and about and I need to reset the face or I need to touch something up. I will take that little heart-shaped guy out and fix the mug. Now with this, it is a little pricey. It's $18 for this and the little heart sponge, which I think is a little too much, but I think that this is something that you should definitely try out. Even if it's just one time, I would totally recommend trying it out because you will find a huge difference in your makeup application, not only in the application, but the coverage that this will give you and the blend. Again, seamless, perfect, amazing. So if you have not tried the Tati Beauty Blendiful, definitely check it out. Now for something that's a little bit more affordable, but is going to do the same exact thing, is the Juno & Co. Microfiber Sponge. This guy has blown up everywhere on Instagram and on YouTube. I've actually been using this a little bit before it blew up, and I have loved it endlessly. Now this is a new guy here, but as you can see, this is not a normal sponge. Again, this will give you the full amount of coverage that is advertised on the foundation. So again, if the foundation says it's full coverage and you use this, you're going to get full coverage. These fibers just help everything mesh together, your concealer, your foundation. Also, you can use this with powder. Now you can find these types of sponges almost any brand now because everyone is just doing this microfiber thing, but Juno & Co. to me is like the OG of the microfiber sponge. They're the guys who came out with the microfiber sponge first, and that's where I got my hands on this guy. And ever since I used this one, I had to go and get their other sponges. So I went and got this one. I also got the Stormcloud Sponge, which is this one. This is the one that you guys see me use all the time. And then I have the Cloud Sponge, which is this guy. So as you can see, I am obsessed with Juno & Co. sponges. But anyways, back to these guys. Because of the hairs on these sponges, the powder just sits right on top, and whenever you put it on, it dispenses the product nice and evenly. So you're not going to get areas where one area has more powder and then the other one has no powder. Hopefully I'm making sense. I'm having a little bit trouble speaking today because I have no idea what's going on with my brain, but it's really hard for me to describe what I'm trying to describe with these sponges. Now, if you have never experienced a microfiber sponge, I totally recommend you go and get one right now, because these are going to change your life. It's also going to change the coverage of your foundation, because once you use these, I don't think you will ever go back to a normal sponge unless you're using it for, you know, other purposes. These sponges right here you can find at Target. This Rosé Velvet Sponge retails for $5.99, and this guy, I'm not really sure how much it is. This one you can't get at Target, you can only get on the Juno and Co website. But I just really recommend anything that has these little microfibers on them, because they will change your makeup application game. You will never want to go back to a normal sponge after these guys. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is something that kind of is the same as the Tati Beauty Blendiful, but it doesn't do the same thing as the Blendiful. With the Blendiful, you can put on foundation, concealer, powder, everything in one sitting. So when you use this completely dry, and even though you put foundation and you blend your concealer, you can still use powder afterwards. This product is just a powder puff for your face. Before I use the Blendiful, I would use these powder puffs for any kind of powder application. They come in a set of 3 that I have here. I got these on Amazon, and these retail for $5.99. These powder puffs are perfect for setting your face. Now, I like these because these are flimsy enough to where I can bend them and I can really get underneath the eyes or in the crevices of my nose. Ever since I bought the Blendiful, I haven't really reached for these, but these are just more of an affordable option if you're looking for something to help set your face and you're not someone who necessarily likes to use brushes. So definitely check out those powder puffs if you're in need for some powder application tools. All right, now the next thing I'm going to show you guys is something that you're probably going to be like, what the fuck? Why do you have that? I have washcloths. These are from Walmart. I was able to get like a pack of, I think 4 or 5 for like 88 cents. It was like one of those weird clearance things. I used to be a avid couponer, and I would follow all these Instagram pages where people would find deals at the clearance section, and I would just run to whatever store that was and buy whatever it was that was on clearance. And these were one of the things that were on clearance. Now, these are simple washcloths. They're literally these squares that you use to wash your body. That is a total culture shock to me, might I add. I did not know Americans use washcloths like this to scrub their body, because that's really freaking nasty to me, because this is 100% cotton like most washcloths. If you leave this in the shower, it's growing bacteria every day that you're just rubbing on your body, which to me is like really freaking cringeworthy. So I don't use these as washcloths. I use these as my makeup brush wipes. As you can see, these are stained, but these are completely new. They just came out of the dryer and I folded them. But makeup stains, especially when you have these towels sitting here for days at a time with the pigment. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I use these for. Whenever I use my sponges, I wash them every single time. Well, whenever I'm done with my eye brushes here, I wash them every single time. Now, I don't necessarily go and take them to the sink and put soap in them and wash them thoroughly. I do that once every 2 to 3 weeks. But because of this next step that I'm going to show you guys, I don't have to wash my brushes as much, and I'm not as concerned of bacteria growing on my brushes because of what I do whenever I'm done doing a makeup look. I know you guys are curious to see what I use these for, but in order to use this, I need this guy. Now, you will find these guys in mostly nail salons, and you will see, you know, the nail stylist put on a cotton pad, like put the acetone on the cotton pad. So we have this little push pump here, and it's designed kind of like a bowl. So when you push, whatever is in here will come to the surface, and it'll just be sitting in that bowl until you pick it up with a cotton pad or whatever. So what I like to use this for is I like to fill this up with alcohol. This is actually just straight rubbing alcohol in here. And whenever I have a brush that's dirty like this guy, I just use this to do the eye look that I'm wearing now. I'm not gonna be able to show you guys this at an angle because then the alcohol is just gonna be spilling everywhere, so just bear with me. I like to push the top, and now it's filled with alcohol. I'll take a brush and just soak it in the alcohol, and I will take my washcloth that I have here, and I will clean my brushes after every use. I do this every single time I do a makeup look, and as you can see, all the remnants that were on the brush are now on this washcloth, and my brush is now clean. I'll do this a couple of times if I still see that there's like, you know, some gunk left on the brush, and I will just do this until my brushes are clean enough and that there's no pigment in case I want to go in with a different color, or, you know, I'm doing a yellow look today, but what if I want to do a black look tomorrow? I don't want any remnants of the yellow. So I do this every time I'm done creating a makeup look. So that way my brushes are clean when I use them, but this is not a substitute to cleaning your brushes, okay? So don't be doing this all the time and then think that you can get away with not cleaning your brushes with soap. You still need to clean your brushes with soap thoroughly and gently every 2 weeks. This is just to kind of help. So if you're someone who does makeup every single day, you will have a nice clean brush ready to work with at your makeup station, and you won't have to worry about, is there going to be pigment on there or is it going to be dirty? You just go in without thinking because you know your brushes are clean. Just for another example, I have this really dirty brush here that I used today. I have some alcohol still left here on the little plate. I'm just going to soak this into the alcohol like so, and then I'm going to take my little washcloth here and we're just going to take all that pigment off. Look how much pigment is coming off onto the washcloth. Whenever you're doing this with the brushes, if the brushes are a certain shape, you want to go with the bristles. So as you can see, this is my E27 that I talked about in my last video, and this brush is a little bit more flat. It's not a fluffy brush. So with these brushes, you want to make sure that the flat edge is up against the washcloth and you're going in downward motions. So don't do back and forth motions like this. If you're going to do back and forth motions, do it like this. So you want to do the sweeping method and you want to go with the bristles, not against the bristles, because then you're really going to fuck up your brushes, and we don't want that, especially with Sigma brushes because they be expensive. This is not a hack that I saw on Pinterest or Instagram. It's something that I just came up with to make my life a little bit easier whenever I'm doing different types of looks in one day. Before I even thought about this guy right here, the alcohol, I used to just take my brushes that were kind of nasty and dirty like this guy, and I would take the washcloth with nothing on it, and that's how I changed the color on my brushes. So that's how I clean them in order to use like a different shade on the brush. Now, if you're one of those people who like natural hair brushes, which you guys know, I'm cruelty free, so I don't use any kind of natural hair brushes. If you are someone who uses natural hair brushes from animals, then I do not advise this method because those are real hairs. They're not fibers, so they're going to dry your brushes out, especially if you do this all the time. So I do not recommend that. If you're using synthetic fibers, then I definitely recommend this because to me, I have found that it does not do anything. It doesn't change my brushes. It doesn't make them feel drier or feel nasty or like feel some type of way. It keeps my brushes clean and they're still fluffy and soft. I haven't found anything wrong with this, but this is just personal experience. So if you do this method and it fucks up one of your brushes, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't want to use alcohol on your brushes, which I totally understand why, you can just use the washcloth. So if you're looking for a way to clean your brushes in between uses until that point of where you need to actually wash them, then this is definitely a great method. Now these I got at the dollar store, but sometimes they're just not there. So I will leave a link in the description box of where you can get them on Amazon. On Amazon, you can get them for a set of 2 for $6.80, which to me is still very affordable because these will last you forever, especially if you're not being rough and like throwing them across the room and shit, you know. The last things I'm going to be sharing with you guys are what you can use for when you're actually washing your brushes. Again, you should be washing your brushes every 2 to 3 weeks, and these products will get the gunk out of your brushes and they leave them smelling so fresh and so clean afterwards, and I just absolutely love these. The first guy is the Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile Bar Soap. This is my favorite scent. This one, the lavender and the tea tree are my 3 favorite scents. I absolutely love Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. Now, you might not be familiar with the bar soap because he does sell them in the liquid form. You can use those essentially for anything your mind can think of. If you want to clean a surface, you can use this. If you want to wash your hair or your face, you can use this. The uses on Dr. Bronner's Castile soap are endless. Now, I love this because not only does it take off all the makeup in your bristles, but it leaves your brushes smelling so nice, so clean. There's no stains on the bristles at all whatsoever. whatsoever. I'm one of those people who like to just take the bar soap and then I take a brush and I will just literally go back and forth with the bristles, and then I'll take the bristles with my 2 fingers and I'll kind of rub the soap in and then I'll wash it out. With Dr. Bronner's, you want to be very careful, especially if you use the liquid version of the Castile soap, because if you don't get all the soap off in your brushes, it's gonna leave like a really stiff, hard area. Basically, it means that you left the soap there and the soap dries and then your bristles get really hard, stuck together and clumpy. It's just not a good look for your brushes. Also, how are you gonna blend anything out like that? So you want to make sure that you're getting all the soap residue out of your brushes, because if not, they're going to turn stiff and you're just not going to be able to use your brush. This bar of soap retails for $5 at Target, but you can get a 2-pack from Walmart for about $8. So it all depends on where you shop and your preference of where to spend your money. I actually got this at TJ Maxx when it was open, and this was $2.99. Anytime I go to TJ Maxx or Marshalls, I can almost always find Dr. Bronner's there, whether it's the liquid form or the bar soap, and that's why I always look there first. So whenever TJ Maxx and Marshalls opens up finally, then I would definitely recommend buying these there. So the last thing I'm going to be talking about is also another bar soap. This is from Raw Sugar. This is the Simply Bar Soap, and this is in Mango. I absolutely love Raw Sugar products, period. If you have watched any of my previous videos of my favorites or my empties, you will see me mention a lot of Raw Sugar products because I am obsessed with their products. None of their products have ever let me down or left my skin feeling dry or funky or anything like that. These only come in 2 packs, and I just really love these because look at it, it looks like a little Lego piece, but these just, oh, they just smell so heavenly. Like I could literally sit here all day and just inhale the soap. Anyways, you can get a 2-pack of this bar of soap for $4.99, so it's definitely a little bit more cheaper than the Castile soap, and I love this because it does the same thing as the Dr. Bronner's. It's just I bought this originally to wash my body with, but I find that bar soap leaves my skin feeling a lot more dry than liquid soap, and so I stopped using this, and I had the bar soap left like in the shower, and I was like, what am I gonna use this for? And then one day when I ran out of my Castile soap here, I remembered that I had this in the shower just sitting there. So I picked it up and I cleaned my brushes with it, and oh my Javis, like it cleaned my brushes so fucking clean, just like the Castile soap. And so I was like, you know what? This is another option where I can use to clean my brushes, and I know that it's gonna get all the residual makeup off. This also you wanna wash off completely in your brushes. Any type of soap scum left in your brushes are gonna make them stiff and hard and unworkable. So you always wanna make sure you get all the soap stuff out of your brushes. But I love this because not only is it cruelty free, but every time you buy one of these, they donate a bar of soap to a family in need. And I just really love that this is a sustainable product. It's eco-friendly, and I love how minimal the packaging is. Like it literally comes with 2 things of soap, and you take it out of the package and there you go. There's no like extra wrapping, and I just really love this brand. Like I swear by Raw Sugar. Raw Sugar is like my boo thing. Like I love this brand so much. The thing is, I am about scents, okay? I love the smell of things that smell good. So just like anybody else who likes things that smell good, you are someone who is picky about your scents. So if you're someone who wants more of a fruity scent, then I would recommend Raw Sugar because they have mango and they have lemon in the bar soap form. But with Dr. Bronner's, these are more of a plant slash leafy type of scent. So you have rose, you have tea tree, you have citrus, you have, I think, lavender. You also have, I think there's a smell for baby powder smell, and there's also unscented, and there's just so many different scents with Dr. Bronner's. So if you're someone who likes more of a fruity scent, then I recommend Raw Sugar. But if you're someone who likes more natural earthy scents, then I would totally recommend the Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. Now I know most people look for a product that actually works and gets whatever they're trying to get done, but these not only get the job done, but the plus is that they smell amazing. So that's why I wanted to include both. Also, Dr. Bronner's is a little bit more expensive than the Raw Sugar because this one you're getting for $5 for 1 bar. This one you're getting for $5 for 2 bars. So if you think that the Dr. Bronner's is a little too pricey for you, then you can go ahead and get the Raw Sugar that not only has 2 bars of soap, smells fucking amazing, but actually cleans your brushes as well. Those are all the products that I have to share with you. I hope that some of these methods and products will help make your life easier easier, or if you've been searching for something to clean your brushes with, you know, maybe you found it here in this video. I just want these videos to be informational, educational, and to help anyone out there who's struggling with any of these things that I've mentioned in the last 3 videos, because I was that girl. I was always struggling for the best hooded eye brush, or the best blending brush for my foundation, or the best method to get the eyeshadow off of the brush so I can use it again. I've done so much weird shit in my makeup room just to make my life easier, or to test out different things, what works better, what doesn't work. That's why I wanted to make this 3-part video, to share and show you guys how I use these products, what I use them for, when they come into play, and I really hope that this has helped some of you guys out there. Even if it's just one person that these videos help, I will be extremely happy. So that is it for this video and for my 3-part series of must-have makeup brushes. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please hit a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you know when I post my videos. And if you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or if you simply want to talk shit, leave it on in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.
I can't help but wish that you were here with me right now. These nights are rolling over me. That's not how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I can't stop thinking about you. Yeah, my body forgot how to move.